NASCAR is an intense racing world where every small mistake can have huge consequences for the drivers and their teams. Recently, Denny Hamlin, one of the top NASCAR drivers, faced a serious penalty that shook the racing community. His team, Gibbs Racing and their partner Toyota Racing Development, made an error that led to this penalty, putting Hamlin's championship hopes in jeopardy. The mistake happened because the engine used in Hamlin's car during his win at Bristol was disassembled and rebuilt before it could be inspected by NASCAR. According to the rules, any race-winning engine must be inspected by NASCAR before the team can do anything with it. By breaking this rule, the team violated NASCAR's strict guidelines, leading to severe consequences. As a result of this violation, Hamlin's team received what is known as an L2 penalty, which is a significant punishment in NASCAR. This penalty included a deduction of 75 driver and odor points, a fine of $100,000 for Hamlin's crew chief Chris Gabehart, and the loss of 10 playoff points. These points are critical in NASCAR because they determine a driver's position in the playoffs, which ultimately decide the season's champion. For Hamlin, this penalty is a major setback that could derail his quest for a championship this year. Before the penalty, Hamlin was sitting comfortably in third place in the regular season standings, only 28 points behind the leader. He had a strong chance of finishing in the top four, which would have given him extra playoff points. But with the 75-point deduction, Hamlin has dropped to 7th place, almost eliminating his chance of winning the regular season title. The loss of playoff points is also a significant blow because they play a crucial role in determining who advances through the playoff rounds. What makes this situation even more surprising is that Toyota Racing Development, the group responsible for the engine, self-reported this mistake to NASCAR. In a world where competition is fierce and every advantage matters, this act of honesty is unusual but commendable. David Wilson, the president of Toyota Racing Development, expressed his disappointment with the situation. He acknowledged that the mistake was a serious oversight and promised to take steps to make sure that this doesn't happen again. Wilson, who was set to retire soon, likely did not want to leave his position under these circumstances. This incident could be seen as a blemish on his otherwise successful career in racing. For Hamlin, the penalty means he'll have to fight even harder in the playoffs. While he still has enough points to be a contender, the path to the championship will be much tougher than expected. Every race will be critical, and any additional mistakes could end his hopes of winning the title. Hamlin is known for his skill and determination, but this penalty will test his ability to overcome adversity on the track. Beyond Hamlin's situation has sparked broader discussions about NASCAR's rules and how they're enforced. NASCAR has strict guidelines to ensure fairness in competition, but sometimes these rules can be challenging for teams to navigate. The penalty against Hamlin's team shows that even the smallest oversight can have huge consequences, emphasizing the importance of attention to detail in this high-stakes sport. NASCAR's decision to issue the penalty was not taken lightly. The organization considered the circumstances and ultimately decided to impose the lowest possible L2 penalty, given that Toyota Racing Development reported the mistake themselves. But even the lowest penalty is harsh, as it significantly impacts a team's chances in the championship. This balance between enforcing rules and recognizing honest mistakes is a delicate one for NASCAR, and it's likely to be a topic of discussion among teams, drivers, and fans. In another recent case, Richard Childress Racing is appealing a penalty that could affect Austin Dillon's playoff eligibility. Like Hamlin, Dillon's situation shows the pressure teams face to perform within the rules while trying to gain every possible advantage. NASCAR President Steve Phelps recently discussed the challenges of enforcing rules while maintaining the integrity of the sport.
We don't want to penalize drivers. We don't want to have cars not pass tech. All of that we don't want. But there is a responsibility if you are going to be fair about the rules that you're going to put in place and then officiate, that you have to do it with the utmost integrity. And I believe that our officials right now, Elton Sawyer and his team, they have the utmost integrity. I think you'd be hard-pressed to find someone that doesn't believe that Elton Sawyer doesn't have the most integrity of someone that's been in his position.
Phelps also mentioned that NASCAR is exploring the idea of making penalty decisions at the track during the race rather than after the fact.
Do you ever see that penalty happening right at the end of the race?
So we actually talked about that this weekend, and there was an all-driver meeting, and that was one of the things that was discussed. Would we like to see that? I think it's something that we can do in the future. And so essentially you have options, right? You could say, hey, it's a 1-lap penalty.
Yeah.
It's a 15-second penalty. It's whatever it is. I think that's something that we'll explore. Whether that happens the balance of this year, I don't know. We typically don't like to make rules changes or procedural changes during the season unless we really think that it's going to be in the best interest in the short term of the sport.
Some discussions are not new, and they seem to pop up frequently, but sometimes a debate arises that really grabs the attention of fans. One such debate is whether Kyle Larson or Max Verstappen is the better all-around driver. This conversation has gained steam in recent weeks, especially after Kyle Larson won his 3rd Knoxville Nationals. When asked if he felt he needed to beat Max Verstappen head-to-head to be considered the best driver in the world, Larson confidently stated that he believed he was better than Verstappen as an all-around driver. Larson did not shy away from expressing his opinion. He said that Max Verstappen would not be able to win races like the Knoxville Nationals, the Chili Bowl, or a Cup race at Bristol, but he admitted that he would probably not be able to win a Formula One race at Monaco. He believes, however, that he has a better chance of succeeding in Verstappen's world than Verstappen does in his. This confidence from Larson sparked a lot of reactions, especially among European racing fans who may view Larson as a scrappy underdog from the dirt racing world. But Larson's response was clear and unapologetic, stating that he knows he's better than Verstappen in most racing disciplines. Max Verstappen, being the dominant force in Formula One, was asked to respond to Larson's comments. Interestingly, Verstappen downplayed the debate, saying that everyone is good in their own right and that the debate is unnecessary.
We have these discussions online about best drivers in the world, right? Me personally, I think versatility. Kyle Larson did Indy and he does dirt, and I think that's really cool too. So personally, what do you look for when you're, talking amongst drivers? And
honestly, I think I should first say we should not have that debate because everyone is good in their own right. I wouldn't be good in dirt. Maybe if I would practice, I don't know. Because I think at the end of the day, a good racing driver picks up things quite quickly. I find it all depends on where you grew up with as well. Like for me, of course, probably go-karting and F1, these things are more natural to me than racing on dirt. I have no clue how to do that at the moment. But I've done a bit of rallying on open fields and stuff, and I found that really fun. Am I going to be really good at it? I don't know. I thought the beginning was a good start, but there's so much to learn, and you need to learn off the best people in that division of racing, and that's only how you can be really, really good. That's how we grew up as well. You learn from better people who have the experience, and that's how you then progress. And yeah, that's why this debate of, this guy is better than the other one, you don't know. Everyone is good in their own right.
This back and forth between Larson and Verstappen has brought a lot of attention to both drivers. For Kyle Larson, this kind of debate is good for his brand. It puts him in conversation with one of the most successful drivers in the world, which only boosts his profile. On the other hand, Max Verstappen remains at the pinnacle of Formula One, a sport that commands international prestige, millions of dollars in earnings, and a massive global following. And that's all we have for today's episode. Don't forget to give this video a like and also subscribe to the channel for more upcoming updates.